This one is Heart of Gold by Neil Young, and we're going to start by taking the intro, and we're going to do it in a couple different segments. We're going to first take this part, and then after that we're going to take the part that goes like this. And the reason I'm going to teach them in two different segments is because you can actually use the second segment in the verse, that is the verse of the song, and the first segment is the first half of the chorus of the song. So by learning those two segments separately, you'll be able to more easily adapt them to playing the other parts of the tune. This is just E minor to D, and back to E minor. Now if you don't know your chords that well, I'll show you these chords. E minor, we're going to use our first two fingers, our first and second fingers, on the second fret of the fifth string and fourth string, just like this, and we're going to strum the whole guitar. Should sound something like that. Now D, we're going to use our first finger on the second fret of the third string, our second finger on the second fret of the first string, and our third finger on the third fret of the second string. Should sound like this. And by the way, I'm throwing in the open fourth string with it as well here. So we're strumming four strings. And as far as the progression goes, this is all down strums. We're going to strum this one 6 times. Go to D twice, and then back to 1 E minor. And then that little fill in there is open fifth string, hammer, which means we kind of wind up our first finger here and produce the tone without plucking the string again. You see here I pluck, and then I wind my finger up and smack it on the string really good, the fifth string, and then we play open fourth string, go back to second fret fifth string, and then pull the string using our index finger of our left hand to the open string. So that little lick looks like this. And then we're back to E minor. Again, that lick. So we put the whole thing together, it looks like this. And from that point, the verse progression starts, which is what we're going to cover next. Okay, this is the second half of the intro progression to Heart of Gold. It also doubles as the verse progression. I'm going to play along with the music once for you so you can see what it looks like as I play along, and then I'm going to show you a couple chords that you're going to need to use to play it, and then we'll show you how to apply it to the verse. So first of all, okay, so we're going to use the E minor chord, which I showed you in the first part of the video, and also the D chord, which I showed you in the first part of the video. Which means we have to learn two other new chords, C and G. Okay, so here's how we approach C. C, we're going to use our first finger on the first fret of the second string, and our second finger on the second fret of the fourth string, and our third finger on the third fret of the fifth string. And we're going to also have the open first string and open third string in there, and we're going to strum from the fifth string down. So that's what your C chord is going to look like. Now G, we're going to use our first finger on the second fret of the fifth string, second finger on third fret of the sixth string, and then third finger on the third fret of the first string. And we're going to strum all 6 strings for this one. Should look like that and sound like that. Now the order we're going to play these chords in, we're going to go E minor, C, D, G. And as we switch these, we want to look for common fingers. For example, when we move from E minor to C, our second finger is a common finger, so we can use that finger for a little bit of leverage to make the chord switch. D, we don't have any common fingers. And then we go to G. So we have a common finger between E minor and C. Then D, then G. And that's going to be our progression. And we're going to play that 3 times, and after the 3rd time we do one sequence of what our intro was like, 6 of these. And the harmonica will be playing over this whole progression. So again, that's E minor, C, D, G, repeated 3 times, then and now that I've that part of the chord progression, the solo under the harmonica, which almost doubles as the verse progression. Let's move along and pick up the verse. Okay, here's the verse to Heart of Gold. As I said earlier, it's just these 4 chords, E minor, to C, to D, to G. And what I'm going to do is just quickly play along with it once so that you can see how they fit in. And then we'll move along and work on the chorus, which is just a couple chords. So there's how the verse works out. And by the way, the strum to this, we're going to go down, 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 up, 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 down. Fairly straightforward strum, just a down followed by a quick down, up, and then a switch. Alright, so let's go ahead and work on the chorus, which is going to contain a little bit of new information, but not much. Alright, this is the chorus to Heart of Gold. It all starts on E minor. It's chords we've already went over. Okay, so this whole thing starts on E minor with 6 strums. Then we go to G, and our strum here is going to look like this. Almost like an alternative rock strum. They say Neil Young is the godfather of grunge, so here we have it. He had that grunge strum down way back in when he recorded this one, probably back in the 70s. So it's, and that's down, 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 up, down, 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 up. So we have. Then we have 3 strums there, 2 quick ones, pause, 3rd, then we do it again. And on the 3rd one here we go to G. So it's like pause, pause, G. Put the whole thing together. And there you go, your chorus. And from there on out, everything is just pattern oriented. You repeat the patterns under the solo that we learned earlier and also under the verses and choruses. So let's go ahead now and we'll run the whole song from start to finish.